Hey guys, I'm Amelia and today I wanted to talk about how I became a model. For those of you who don't know me, I started modeling at the start of 2022, so it's been a bit over a year now. And basically how I got started was I got signed to an agency. I was not scouted. I actually applied online to agencies myself, and before this I had no modeling experience whatsoever. I had never done a photo shoot in my life and I definitely did not look like a model at all. This all happened at the end of 2021. I had just finished my first year of uni. It was the end of November and I was bored, so I just wanted to try apply to agencies for fun. I had never thought about becoming a model because I didn't think I had what it took to become one. Like growing up, I was not a pretty kid. I have photos and yeah, I was just not model material. But yeah, I was like, I have the height, why don't I just try and see if anyone gets back. I live in Melbourne, so I searched up modeling agencies Melbourne in Google and I applied to all the ones that came up. It's a bit different for every agency, but on their website they will either have a page where you can apply, submit all your information, or they'll like put their email and ask you to email them all your details for a submission. And all I needed to apply was just like my basic information, like my name, age, location, and my measurements. Your main ones are your height, waist, chest and hips, and sometimes other ones. Other than that, all you really need is very simple photos of you. They're called digis, which is just photos of you in really plain fitted clothing and not professional at all. I think most agencies prefer they're not professional. So I just took some self-timer videos on my phone and yeah, I submitted those to agencies and they're probably the worst photos I've ever seen. I'll put them up on the screen even though I'm like really embarrassed by them. But yeah, I'll just put them up to show that like you really don't need much to start. But yeah, I did a bunch of those. This was on a Saturday night, I think. And then Monday morning I woke up and I already had replies from maybe like 2 or 3 of them, which like I was actually really shocked. They either said they wanted to meet me in person and set up an interview, or they wanted to see more photos of me. And so with these agencies, I set up meetings with some of them, like to meet them in person, or some via Zoom as well. Throughout the week, a few other agencies did get back to me, but it was all very quick. I've learned that like if a modeling agency is interested in you, they'll get back very quick. Like if not within a day, like definitely within a week or 2. After I met with a lot of the agencies, some of them ghosted me, which like is really typical. That pretty much just means like they don't want you. But a lot also came back to me wanting to sign me. Now I'm signed with Precision, and my agency, if you search up modeling agencies Melbourne, it doesn't actually pop up. So there's a story of how I found my agency. When I submitted myself to modeling agencies, I actually did it twice. The first time, like I really didn't know what I was doing and I didn't research any of the agencies, so some of them were like not very good. That was like the end of November in 2021. And then at the start of 2022, I like had already agreed to sign with an agency, but I wasn't really happy with them because the more research I did, the more I was like, oh, I don't know about this agency. So halfway through January, I did a second round of submitting myself to modeling agencies. I looked on models.com for agencies that were good and I submitted myself to all of those. Even though some of them weren't even based in Melbourne, I still submitted anyways. And this really big agency in Australia got back to me and they were really interested in seeing more. So they asked me to do a mini shoot. They called it a test roll, which is basically like a 5-minute shoot with like a photographer, just me like natural. But that was like my first shoot, I guess. Then the photos came back and the agency asked me to go in to meet them, and then they ended up rejecting me on the spot. But then they gave me a list of agencies to apply to and my agency Precision was on there. So I went out and applied to all the agencies and my agency Precision got back within probably 2 hours and they wanted to meet me later in the week. This was on a Tuesday, and then on Thursday I went in and met them, and the meeting went really well, and they were like super nice. They wanted me to do a test shoot to decide if they were going to sign me. So after the meeting we set a date for a test shoot, and then I did the test shoot around halfway through Feb. The test shoot went really well, and I guess they were really happy with the photos. Literally like an hour after I left the test shoot, I got an email and it was Precision offering to sign me, and they sent over the contract and everything, and I was so happy because I had been stalking agencies a lot at this point, and I know Precision was like, it looked really good, and I was really excited, so I literally signed it immediately. And that's where it all started, and it's been over a year now. I've modeled for so many like amazing brands already, and I'd say I'm still quite new to modeling. I'm still learning a lot. Modeling is like something you can't train for. It's something you learn through doing it. Obviously signing to an agency is the first step, but after that you can't expect to be working straight away. So I signed at the end of Feb, but I didn't really like get my first job until 2 months later, and then I'd say maybe halfway through the year I was able to book more jobs. At the start I was doing a lot of test shoots just to build my portfolio, and that is how I became a model with no experience at all, no connections in the industry, knew nothing about fashion, anything in that space I was so unfamiliar with. I really had no one to help me with it. I know a lot of models are freelance as well, and that's also another path you can take, but for me, because I knew nothing, I just thought having an agency would be much easier for me, and that was definitely the right choice because they take care of everything. I just show up to shoot and I don't have to worry about anything else. That's my journey so far. I think that's all. Thank you for listening. Bye.